Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Piyush Kumar and I am going to discuss the questions of history in Mark 2, right? So let us discuss the only history questions. So the question number first, 41. Which of the following were consequences of Alexander's invasion in 326-325 BC? The first statement is direct contact between India and Greece was established in different fields. That is true because India and Greek were always having a relationship, right? And this sea route relation was already there. And I hope you must be knowing about the Indo-Roman trade. But just because of the invasion which took place because of the Alexander, right, or the invasion which was done by Alexander, just because of that, people came to know about those passes through which the Greek people could come to India, and that is why it fueled the relationship between India and the Greek world through the land routes, right? So this is true. Second statement, more Greek settlements in northwest India were established. Yes, Alexander founded a few cities such as Sikandaria, such as Bucephal, right? These are some of the cities which were established by Alexander. So this is again correct. Third, petty states in northwest India were destroyed, thus paving the way for the expansion of the Mauryan Empire in the area. Yes, that is true. That area was slightly fragmented. I mean, you can find different political heads of the political powers in that area. And what happened after the invasion of Alexander, as most of the areas were won by Alexander, so that is where this area got consolidated, and definitely it paved the way for Chandragupta Maurya, because now it was easy for him to defeat the rulers of that area, and that part could be annexed by annexed in Mauryan Empire. So the statement number third is again correct. So the correct answer would be C. Question number 42. An official called Raju Gahakas in the post-Vedic period was basically in the post-Vedic literature you can find the name of many officials, right? And what kind of situation or polity was there in that particular time, that we are not pretty sure about that. But even though we can say one thing, these kind of bureaucracy have been mentioned in in post later Vedic text. So there we can find one reference of Raju Gahakas, and Raju Gahakas was basically the duty which was assigned to Raju Gahaka as per the Vedic text to survey the agricultural land, and that is where the option number A is correct. Question number 43. In medieval India, Khut and Mukaddam are used in context of, normally in medieval period, there were two terms you always remember. One was Zamindar, one was Jagirdar, right, or Iktidar. So Jagirdar or Iktidar were the basically bureaucratic posts. Whether the village headmen were known with different names such as Khut, Mukaddam, Chaudhary, Rai, Rana, Rankavat, right? So these are some of the names for the village headmen, and these are basically the hereditary rights which were maintained by the Muslim rulers during this medieval period also. So basically this Khut and Mukaddam were nothing but the village headmen and landlords, right? So the option number D is correct. Question number 44. With reference to the Shrenis, guilds, which were associations formed by craft persons and merchants, consider the following statement. So basically guild were very popular in ancient India. Normally in India these were known as Shrenis, right? Guild was basically an European term, but Shreni was the Indian version of the guild, right? So the statement number first, they find references in Mansar stone inscription. So yes, the guilds have been mentioned in the Mansar stone inscriptions. There the migration of the guilds have been mentioned, and this is one of the popular inscription which is dealing with the Shrenis, right? So this is correct. The second, they provided training, procured raw materials, and distributed the finished products, right? This is true that the Shrenis used to provide different sort of thing. I mean, they used to provide the training for that particular craft, right? They used to provide the raw materials, they used to distribute the items or distribute the products. So these kind of functions were being done by the Shrenis. So this is again correct. And the third, they used to serve, they also served as bank. This is again correct, because if somebody from that particular profession requires money, in that case the guild used to provide the money also. Apart from that, all the functions are correct. So the answer would be C. Answer would be D. All the options are correct. But apart from this, the guild used to play the role of the judicial head also in that particular craft, because if any dispute is there among the people or related to the craft. In that case, it was sorted out by the guild. So the judicial functions were also there, right? So next question, 45. Which of the following statement is correct regarding the capitalist and the business class during the Indian national movement? I think we have discussed a similar questions in the last mock also. But again, let us see the question. The statement number first: the capitalist class opposed the Swadeshi movement and non-cooperation movement, but openly supported civil disobedience movement. Right? Yes, that is correct, because normally the first thing during this Swadeshi movement there was no as such capitalist class in India. Definitely we find a class, a capitalist class in Bombay area, Bombay and Ahmedabad area, but that class was not very dominant, and that is why we don't find a sort of peculiar role of this particular class in the Swadeshi movement. As far as this non-cooperation movement is there, so as you know, after the First World War, we can find the emergence of the capitalist class in India, and the reason is very obvious, because as Britain was not capable of fulfilling the demands of the war demands, and that is why they desperately started promoting the Indian capitalists, and that is why during and after the First World War we can find an Indian industrialist class. And that class, as they were looking or they were finding their interest with the colonial rule, because I just mentioned the incident as the colonial rule have started securing the interest of the capitalists, and that is where they were more with the side of the colonial rule rather than the Indian freedom movement, and that is why we don't find much participation by this class in the non-cooperation movement. But the situation got completely changed during this civil disobedience movement, because immediately before the civil disobedience movement we have seen the Great Depression, right? And definitely we can find the negative impacts of this Great Depression over the Indian capitalist class, and that is why now they have started realizing one thing: if they have their own government, in that case they are going to get a better atmosphere where they could flourish in a better way, and that is why they have decided to support their own government, or they support their the efforts of civil disobedience movement or the efforts of Indian freedom movement, and that is why we find the support of this particular class in civil disobedience movement, right? So the first is correct. Second, FICCI participated in the first roundtable conference. This is wrong. We find the participation by some industrialists, but definitely not by the FICCI. Third, capitalists supported the government in public safety bill intended to contain communist, right? This is again incorrect, because there was no as such support by the capitalist class to the government in this public safety bill. So the first and third are first is correct, second and third are wrong. So the answer would be A. Question number 46. With reference to the Ghadar movement, consider the following statement. The Ghadar party believed that the British rule could be overthrown by armed revolt only. This is correct, because they just wanted to get a revolution, and they believed that through this revolution they could eradicate this the colonial rule from India. So this is correct. The second, based in San Francisco, the movement aimed to fight against the discrimination against Indian immigrants in North America. No, this is incorrect. Why this is incorrect? Because they always realize one thing: until and unless the Indians are free in their own country, they won't be treated proper in foreign land, and that is why it was not the primary objective for them, and they first wanted to get the freedom for the Indians, right? For India, right? And that is why this is incorrect. The third, the Defense of India Act was passed by British to support this, to suppress this movement. This is again correct, because as they were capable of generating some revolutionary sort of things, and that is why they passed this act. So the first and third are correct. So the answer would be C. Question number 47. Which of the following which of the following principles of Satyagraha is true? First, a Satyagrahi was not to submit to what he considered as wrong, but was to always remain truthful, non-violent, fearless. That is correct. And actually, this these statements have been picked by Gandhi's book, right? And this is how Gandhi has tried to define this Satyagraha. The second statement: even while carrying out his struggle against the evildoer, a true Satyagraha would love the evildoers, hated would be alien to his nature. This is again correct. The third: only the brave and strong could practice Satyagraha, which was not for the weak and coward, right? This is again correct. So all the statements are correct. So D is the correct answer. Question number 48. The Pune Act between Ambedkar and Gandhi gave scheduled caste reserved seats in Okay, fine. This is a factual question. This Pune Pact you must be aware with. The Pune Pact, which took place immediately after the second roundtable conference, and as you know, the second roundtable conference was not conclusive just because of this issue, because the government or the British government wanted to give or extend reservation to the lower classes or the Dalits also, and which was the idea was promoted by Bhimrao Ambedkar. Gandhi was not in a mood to accept this because ultimately it was going to create the fragmentation of Indian society, and that is why Gandhi barehandedly returned from there, and later on he offered some reservation to Ambedkar for the Dalits, right? And this reservation was provided to Dalits only for the provincial legislative, in the provincial legislative council and the central legislative council. It was not for the local body councils, right? So the first and second are correct. Answer would be A. Next, 49. Read the following statements carefully and choose the right answer by using the quotes given below. First, Tattva Bodhini Sabha was founded by Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar to propagate Raja Ram Mohan Roy's idea. This is the statement is correct, but there was one factual mistake here. It was not founded by Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, but it was founded or established by what was his name? Devendranath Tagore, right? So it was founded by Devendranath Tagore. So this is incorrect. The second, Satya Sodhak Samaj was founded by Gopal Hari Deshmukh to advocate the reorganization of the Indian society on rational and modern principles. This is again correct, but the founder is incorrect. It was by Jyotiba Phule. So the first and second are wrong. Third, Atmiya Sabha was founded by Raja Ram Mohan Roy to propagated monotheism, opposed idolatry and superstition, right? So this is correct. Atmiya Sabha was established by Raja Ram Mohan Rao in 1815, right? And it idea which he wanted to propagate through this particular organization was monotheism basically, right? So this is correct. So the third is only statement which is correct. So the answer would be B. 50. Question number 50. Which of the following statement is correct about the Akali movement? First, its aim was to liberate the Gurudwaras from the control of the government. Yes, the aim of the this movement was definitely to liberate the Gurudwaras from the control of not the the government, but the corrupt Mahants, right? But this is a different thing, that the Mahants were always promoted, or they were actually protected by the government, right? So indirectly it is correct, but officially it is incorrect. So the statement number first is incorrect. The second, it launched a non-violent non-cooperation movement. This is correct because it became associated with this. It associated with non-cooperation movement or the Gandhian movement. So this is correct. Third, the movement had a communal overtone. Definitely it did not have a communal overtone, right? It was just talking about the reforms within the Sikhism. So the first is incorrect, third is incorrect, only second is correct. So the answer would be A. 2 only. Next, it's about some of the uprisings. You have to just arrange it in order. Just see the answer. It's a factual question. Next, which of the following are the characteristics of the Quit India movement? The first, there was a complete absence of anti-jamindari violence, right? Yes, that is true for the Quit India movement. We can find the absence of the anti-jamindari violence, because in Quit India movement definitely the objective has gone has changed completely, and now at any cost they wanted to get the freedom, and these kind of regional issues were not that much important in this particular movement, and that is where we can find the absence of this anti-jamindari violence. So the first is correct. The second, Muslim participation was highest as compared to the other movements in 20th century. No, this is incorrect, because definitely Muslim participation is there, but it was limited up to certain extent. Why it was limited? Because now this different politics of Muslim League and Jinnah, that is highlighted, and people were now have started talking in terms of different sort of things, right? And that is where we can find the less participation of the Muslims. And definitely if in terms of highest participation, we must consider the non-cooperation movement, where we can find, just because of this Khilafat and all, and this Lucknow Pact Khilafat movement, then we can find the highest participation by the Muslims in non-cooperation movement. Third, government officials of the lower levels in police and administration supported the movement. As I told you, now the idea of nationalism became so dominant in India, and that is why even most of the people serving in government, they also started supporting this Quit India movement, and that is why this is correct. So the first and third are correct, second is wrong, right? In that case, the answer would be C.